Voice of Indonesia.
Voice of Indonesia from Indonesia to the world. Welcome back to me, Ahmad Faisal, at a special program. Do you know that Indonesia and Russia have a very strong relation, and both countries have strong commitment to keep on strengthening bilateral relations. To know more about it, at the special program here at the studio of Voice of Indonesia, there is Russian Ambassador to Indonesia, Her Excellency Mrs. Lyudmila Vorobieva. How are you today, Your Excellency?
I'm very good. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you today at the studio of Voice of Indonesia.
Thank you.
Okay. Your Excellency, we know that Indonesia and Russia have very strong relations, and even in the past and even until now. So how do you see about the current bilateral relations if we see about the 74 years the two countries have building this very well? So how do you see about this?
Yes, you're absolutely right. On the 3rd of February, we have celebrated the 74th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations. So next year it will be a big date, 75 years. And we have this very good tradition of friendship and close cooperation between our two countries that was launched by President Sukarno, who visited our country 4 times. And we can see in Jakarta the signs, the symbols of this friendship, like Gelora Bung Karno, which was built by our country, or Rumah Sakit Persahabatan, or even Tugu Tani.
Yes.
And the recent one is the monument to Gagarin also. So these are symbols of our friendship and good cooperation. And in the past 20 years, our relations have been on the rise, especially since Ibu Megawati Sukarnoputri went to Moscow in 2003 and met with President Putin. In the recent years, our president have met several times. You know that President Joko Widodo went to Moscow in 2022, and he met with President Putin and had a very good conversation for more than 2 hours. They conversed on the phone. Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov has visited Indonesia 4 times in the last 2 years.
Wow.
He represented our president during Indonesia's presidency in G20 and during Indonesia's chairmanship in ASEAN. We had visits by our parliamentary delegations in 2023.
Yes.
22, the Speaker of our Parliament came to Indonesia for the G20 Parliamentary Forum, but it's a lady, Mrs. Matvienko. She also had very good meetings with her counterparts, the leaders of Indonesian Parliament. Our trade is growing. Last year, around 30% or even more. It's around $4 billion. Of course, it's not enough. We can do much better, but the trend is very good. We see interest from Russian businesses to invest and to do business in Indonesia. Every month we can see business delegations from Russia coming to Indonesia. Sorry. We know that there's a lot of Russian tourists in Bali, especially, and we hope to see more Indonesian tourists in our country. You know that now Indonesia is among 50 or something like that friendly countries whose nationals can get visa online. You don't need, if you want to go to Russia, you don't need to go to the embassy with the package of document. You just go to the website, you load your passport, and you will get a visa for 2 weeks to stay in Russia. So we have educational exchanges. There are 800 Indonesian students who are studying now in Russia.
Okay.
We see that our universities are also very interested into opening their branches in Indonesia. Soon there will be an international education fair, and we hope that some of our universities will participate in this important event. We have cultural exchanges, so our relationship is on the rise, I would say.
Okay. So, right, Your Excellency, I'm really interested in what you said before about the two countries have developed many fields, such as in the social cultures, in education, and even maybe in defense cooperation. So my question, what has been the main focus of cooperation between the two countries, especially in achieving trade target for $5 billion by 2024?
Yes, our presidents, when they met, they have set this target to reach the trade, to elevate our trade turnover to $5 billion. We have not yet reached this target, and but we are steadily on the way. And as I told you just now, we can see this big interest from our businesses to deal with Indonesia, and they are coming in various fields, like beginning from IT to agriculture. And it's not only trade, but technologies, of course. In order to boost our trade, we have launched a negotiation process between the Eurasian Economic Union and the government of Indonesia. You know, Russia is a member of Eurasian Economic Union that comprises Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Armenia. We cannot have a free trade agreement just between Russia and another, because we are part of this union. So we hope that by the end of the year, we can have a free trade agreement between Eurasian Economic Union and Indonesia that, of course, will help enormously to boost our bilateral trade, not only between Russia and Indonesia, but between all members of the Eurasian Economic Union. And, you know, we have a lot of things to offer each other. You know, we have, we have natural resources, of course, we have IT, communication technologies. Indonesia also have a lot to offer Russia, beginning from palm oil. We are one of the biggest purchaser of palm oil, and we don't have any restrictions on unlike other foreign countries. But not only that, of course, also equipment, furniture, textiles. So there's a lot that we can do together.
Okay. Well, you know that Indonesian government until now is still continuing building new capital city in Kalimantan. So based on the information we have got, that two companies from Russia which operate the smart city sector have submitted letters of intent to the Archipelago Capital Authority, or new capital. So what is Russia's interest in investing in the new capital city of Indonesia?
Yes, of course, we are aware of this project to move the capital to Kalimantan, the Nusantara project. And as we understand that the government of Indonesia is interested to using smart city technologies and to be this new city to be green. We have this smart technologies. If you ever come visit Moscow, you will see that there is a lot of things like that in Moscow. Moscow is one of the most comfortable and technologically advanced capitals in Europe, and maybe in the world. In the world. So I know that the government of Moscow is very interested to participate in this project. So I hope that we can again we can help each other, and we can provide some of the technologies that we have that are used not only in Moscow, actually. For instance, Kazan.
Oh, Kazan, yes.
It's a big city. It's the capital of one of the biggest Muslim regions of Russia, and they also use these technologies. So we are ready to cooperate and to share our experience in the building in smart city development.
Your Excellency, are there any challenges in deepening bilateral relations of both countries?
Well, of course, first of all, it's lack of information, I would say. Some of our businesses are not aware of the business conditions in Indonesia, what they can do, but that's our job, actually. That's what we're doing, to give more information and tell our business people what they can, how they can cooperate with Indonesia. Of course, the present geopolitical situation is also builds some difficulties, because they are, as we all know, they are pressure from third countries that want to isolate Russia, which they are not achieving. Of course, Russia is not isolated, but they are putting pressure on our partners not to cooperate with Russia. Fortunately, our friends all over the world, they don't give in to this pressure. But we're very optimistic. Despite the sanctions, our economy is doing very well. We are developing better than the countries that impose sanctions on us. For instance, the latest figures that our GDP growth last year was 3.6%.
3.6%.
Of course, we haven't reached the level of Indonesia. You're around 5%. But European countries are either minus or zero something. So our economy has adapted. And we have a lot of things that we can offer to our partners and friends.
Well, Your Excellency, you said also before about the bilateral relations in strengthening, I can say, what we call education sector. By the way, is there such scholarship that the Russian government give for Indonesian students?
Of course, every year we provide government scholarships, and the numbers of these scholarships are growing every year. If last year we had 161 scholarships,
161.
So this year it's already 300.
Wow.
And we've already completed the quota. We can see that there is a big demand for studies in Russia among Indonesian young people. And we are sure that the number of scholarships will be increasing. And I've met with the Indonesian students who study in Russia, and they are very happy despite the cold climate, but they adjust well, and I can tell the parents that they shouldn't worry, because Russia is very safe. Despite all the things that the Western media are telling about Russia or Hollywood movies, Russia is very safe for foreign students, and the quality of education is very good. So please, if you are interested in studying in Russia, you can look the website of our cultural center, and there is all the information about that.
So you mean not only having scholarship when Indonesian students study in Russia, but they also learned Russian language before they are at university, for example?
Yes, some of the universities provide courses in English, but the majority, all the classes are in Russian language. So usually our scholarship gives the package. First, sometime spending studying Russian language, and then the subject. So that gives you an additional bonus of knowing Russian language as well.
So the last question, Your Excellency, because of our limited time, You know that today all of Indonesian people, especially in Indonesia, are exercising their voting for the election 2024. That's why this year Indonesia will have new president. The question is, what is your expectation for the new president of Indonesia in 2024?
First of all, I would like to say that, of course, we respect the choice of Indonesian people. Whoever will lead the country and be chosen by Indonesian people to lead the country, we are ready to cooperate and promote our bilateral relations. We really hope that, and we are very optimistic that whoever will be the president will continue this tradition of good relations and friendship between our two countries.
All right. So thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time and having interview with us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, listener, that was our special interview with Russian Ambassador to Indonesia, Her Excellency Mrs. Lyudmila Vorobieva. I am Ahmad Faisal. Thank you very much and see you next time.
Voice of Indonesia.